Welcome to the wonderful world of age gap love. Couples decades apart, but happy ever after.
We met online. The initial attraction is obviously physical.
I felt I'd struck gold. Sam was such a lovely guy.
Thank God for the internet.
The uncomfortable truth of being married to a pensioner.
I'm in my latter years.
Oh, don't be saying stuff like that.
The couple who feel banished from their hometown because of their age gap.
They made me feel like I was some sort of animal because I'm going out with a younger girl. I'm going out with a younger girl because this girl has asked me to go out with her.
And the sexy 82-year-old whose new 39-year-old boyfriend is simply not young enough.
A young man is fired up about what the future holds.
I think I'm actually too old for her.
It's the start of the summer holidays, and for this age gap couple, a chance to unwind.
Love camping because it's peace and quiet. I'm Andy and I'm 47.
And I'm Beth and I'm 19.
Their 28-year age gap may make them look like father and daughter, but they are every bit a married couple.
Oh, my dearly beloved is going to set up the doghouse. When I get told off, I'll have to go and live in the tent for a bit.
Andy was originally a friend of Beth's mum, and over the years became close to her children too.
We were all like one happy family, but needless to say, I didn't know that Beth was like getting these thoughts that she wanted me to be a happy man forever sort of thing, you know.
But once she reached the age of 16, Beth wanted to take their friendship to the next level.
The age doesn't really bother me. It never has done. I don't see him as an old man or my dad or anything like that. He's just sensitive, like a big teddy bear.
Stop it. Stop it. I was concerned what people would think. 16, 40, it's a big gap, and you know, it's a generation gap sort of thing, so it's like, what are people going to think?
However, when Andy realised Beth was serious, he decided to give this controversial relationship a go.
Oh my days. Right, just leave it. Leave it, leave it, leave it. You're getting all aerated with you today. You're getting all stressed.
That's not going to work. Is that gonna...
Chill, just chill. Chill. It is what it is. I have.
And once they'd fallen in love, Andy became determined to give Beth everything she had ever wanted.
It'll do.
This is Timmy, and he's 2. And this is Conway, and he's 1. I've always wanted to make a family, or to have a family. So I just thought Andy would be the perfect man to do so.
And now the great camping holiday begins, and we just sit here and watch people.
Nothing to watch.
Well, there is that.
But from the beginning, Andy and Beth's age gap relationship has drawn a lot of negative attention, which has turned their lives upside down.
To say it was really dark days, I can't stress to you enough. That's mild.
Some men have flash cars to help them attract younger members of the opposite sex.
Very much into my cars. It's the speed more than anything.
But not 44-year-old Steve. He only has eyes for his much older wife, 64-year-old Marion.
First met Steve when he came to be my manager. I worked for the blood service. I was very rude, actually. I said that, did he realise that I had been nursing for 2 years when he was first born?
I was slightly lost for words. Although, strictly speaking, yes, she had been nursing longer than I'd been alive.
Marion has always been very anxious about the 20-year age gap.
I got my invitation to get my state pension. I get my bus pass now. You can call me an OAP.
Excellent.
There may be perks, but Marion definitely doesn't want to be called a pensioner.
That really riles me, so we won't be calling me that. Will we, dear?
No, we don't. No. Excellent.
Just how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the start, Marion hated the idea of becoming a burden to Steve, so went to extremes to show him the downside.
Absolutely, I tried to put him off. When I got to 85 and he was 65, he'd still have a lot of life, a lot of living, and I may be approaching the end in a not too romantic, sexy way. So I asked Steve if he'd like to come and see my mother. At that time, my mother was in the advanced stages of Alzheimer's in a care home.
She hoped it would make 44-year-old Steve think twice about their relationship, and she didn't stop there.
We also had our minister to come round. He discussed, was I aware of the age difference and what impacts that might have in later life. But ultimately, if you're attracted to that person, worry about all the other stuff if and when it happens.
Despite Marion's best efforts, Steve was not deterred. But Marion's fear of dying before Steve was soon to take a dramatic turn. On the island of Sicily, temperatures are running high for one age gap couple.
My name is Lawrence, I'm 61 years old.
And my name is Sam, and I'm 26 years old. And there is a 34-year age gap between us. The initial attraction is obviously physical. When I look at him, I don't know, I guess I just undress him with my eyes, really.
Sam was aged just 18 when he searched out 55-year-old Lawrence.
We met online. We were both very much in the closet at the time. I don't think you would have seen us in any gay bar at all, so thank God for the internet.
This is an online love match made in heaven. Sam loves older and bigger, Lawrence loves younger and fitter.
I felt I'd certainly struck gold. Sam was such a lovely guy, as well as being, very physically attractive, good looking. He had a lovely personality, which I warmed to very quickly.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be able to wake up to him every day and go to bed with him every day. And I'm lucky to call him mine.
Old saying that opposites attract, and in every sense of the word, that's exactly where we are.
This is the Sunshine State of Florida in America, and a place where age gap love might just blossom.
Hey, you. How are you? Come on in.
Self-confessed cougar Hattie is 82 years old. She has just flown in from New York to stay with her new love interest, 39-year-old John, who happens to adore much older women.
We were connected on social media for years, and we hadn't met, but I was charmed with this woman that I had seen. She told me I could call her, so I called her and we spoke for about an hour or so, and we had discussed, a lot about who I was, who she was, and
why we had anything at all in common, so that, of course, he might have wanted to meet me. But he is a man who said that he dates older women. You feel relaxed?
Yeah, of course.
Despite the 43-year age gap, John couldn't wait to make his way to New York to meet 82-year-old Hattie, and neither could have imagined what happened next.
From the first look I had of him, actually, it was as if I sensed something right away. It's kind of a softness and a warmth. Come on, let me see that face. It's so sweet. He's really sweet. He just spoke to me as if I were like the most astonishing, extraordinary, beautiful, fascinating woman in the world. Or at least I was in that category.
You are one of the most fascinating women that I've met. Like, that hasn't changed.
How could I not like him? He's continuing being really lovely to me.
The attraction this couple felt was irresistible. So 5 weeks on, and Hattie has come for a weekend break to Florida for the first real test of their 43-year age gap relationship.
Over the next couple of days, we're going to go out to a friend of mine's restaurant on the beach so we can go eat there.
This looks like something you would go to. Mad Beach? No?
Yeah, that's more your style. I mean, it's got Mad in the title. Come on. I don't think either of us really know what happens after this visit, but she's here, and we're going to have a great time, and she'll meet some people
We're
close to
already
me and my
having a great
friends,
time.
and it'll be good.
It's early morning at the home of age gap couple 61-year-old Lawrence and 26-year-old Sam, and they're already up and about.
Sam at the moment is at the gym. He's very passionate about his training routine.
During the summer months, Sam and Lawrence run their home as a B&B, and this week they are fully booked.
Right now I'm just setting up for the client's breakfast.
While Sam does his early morning workout, Lawrence serves their guests, a routine which, unlike many things in Italy, runs like clockwork.
These are the church bells that you hear going off. We get a full-length Ave Maria at 7:30 in the morning. They're supposed to go off every hour and every half hour, but in fact, like everything else in Sicily, it's late.
That includes the daily delivery of freshly baked bread.
Sì, ecco. Buona giornata.
Lawrence is half Sicilian and spent years holidaying in this traditional part of the island with his ex-wife and 2 children, but that was his old life.
A lot of people around here knew me as a married man with children, and they knew me in that life. And then coming back after a little break as a gay man with a younger partner took a bit of explaining to some people.
By 8 a.m, it's already 25 degrees as Sam returns from his early session at the gym. Sam only moved to Sicily full-time a year ago after a brief career as a professional rugby player with the Saracens.
This is a framed England Sevens shirt from my days playing rugby union. I was fortunate enough to play in 4 tournaments around the world.
A serious knee injury forced him to stop playing.
I found it quite hard stopping and finishing rugby. So moving here last year, I got into bad habits. I was drinking a bit too much. I was eating pizzas, eating pasta.
Sam's injury could not have happened at a worse time. His career was flying, and he'd only recently taken the big decision to announce to the world his love for Lawrence.
I was the first English rugby union player to come out. The whole coming out as a rugby player was difficult at first, but I didn't actually expect the reaction that I had, which was incredibly positive. Homophobia still exists in rugby. There are a lot of things that I have heard in the changing room, for example. If the boys thought that about any had any issues about shower, etc. By the way, I'm attracted to older guys, so don't worry about that.
Sam's relationship with 61-year-old Lawrence made national news, but here they are largely unknown, something they hope to put right.
So tomorrow we've got this big Feast of St Mary's. It's called Ferragosto. In Italy, everything comes to a standstill, and it's one of the biggest celebrations in the Italian calendar. And we've invited neighbours and some close friends to join us for a bit of a party.
Being recognised as a couple is not easy when there's a big age gap. People often get confused when they see 64-year-old Marion and 44-year-old Steve together. Even the grocery delivery driver gets it wrong.
I said, that's not my son, that's my husband.
Yeah, they kind of like put me foot in it, didn't they?
Marion has always hated being so much older and worried that as she entered old age, she would become a burden to Steve. But just a year into their marriage, this age gap relationship was turned upside down.
I was diagnosed with multiple metastatic melanoma. My main tumour is in my left groin, and basically because it's so far embedded in there, surgery isn't an option, and the prognosis is that at some point in the future that cancer will spread to other parts of my body as well.
As Marion is a cancer nurse, she knew this sort of diagnosis would change everything.
It was definitely a table turning, because our assumption had been, because I'm considerably older than Steve, that I would die first. Suddenly, and it was very sudden, we're faced with the knowledge that he may die way before I do. So the tables had completely turned.
Marion and Steve now face the daily struggle of not knowing how long he's got. But the couple refuse to be downbeat and are reacting in a very British way.
I think those flats over there are retirement ones.
Yeah, I won't mind one of those. But you're just jealous, aren't you?
Why is that then?
You won't live long enough to get one. I don't buy subscriptions for a magazine for a whole year because it's going to waste money. So I always buy the small bottles of aftershave because he's not going to use it all.
Do you see what I have to put up with? I was only just allowed a tattoo because I might live a bit longer.
Age gap love can blossom at any time and at any age. 82-year-old Hattie is spending a few days with a new potential boyfriend, 39-year-old John. John has never dated girls his own age, as he feels he has a lot to offer older women.
I've been asked and playfully ridiculed, I guess, by people who've known me for a long time. You know, why do I date older women? I like confidence in a woman. I like self-awareness. But I do think with the mature women that I've dated, there's always been a more sensual, more compassionate side. You know, they're very receptive to the type of person and lover that I am.
You know, when I'm here, that reminds me of the Caribbean because of the palm trees.
Do you know what kind of plant that is?
Do you?
Well, it's not a plant, it's an alligator.
Oh, come on.
When Hattie divorced at 48, she made it her mission to only date younger guys, often much younger than John, and she can't get enough.
When people ask me why I like younger men, they always figure it's a hard cock or something. I'm not saying it's not that. However, an older man, generally, he's had this, he once played rugby, he was once the top football player, blah, 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 and he had all these dreams. And I love those dreams. But he had them already. But a young man is fired up about what the future holds. And I can light that light, and I could keep that fire burning.
But the problem is, John is nearly 40, so is his fire already dying out?
I think I'm actually too old for her. That's what we're finding out. It's not about age with me. It's about how a connection between two people can transcend any amount of time between them. But she is hung up on the fact that I'm above 30.
Back home from their camping trip are 47-year-old Andy and his 19-year-old wife, Beth. Like all teenagers, Beth loves to change the colour of her hair and nails, and Andy is only too happy to help.
I got this bright red one.
Pink.
Colourblind.
He considers himself very lucky to have such a young and beautiful wife.
What do I fancy about Beth? Like any normal red hot-blooded male, she's beautiful, she's vibrant, her character's fantastic, just everything about her. And I think she sees in me security and a comfortable pair of slippers.
And you're gorgeous.
And I'm gorgeous, apparently. It's about the beauty and the beast, aren't we?
No. I don't think we're Beauty and the Beast. I think we are Beauty and the Teddy Bear.
But although this couple adore each other, they found the reaction to their relationship was really negative and caused a huge rift. When they got married, even though Beth was by then 18, there were very few guests.
We had a few close friends, didn't we? It was a small gathering in North Wales, in Llandudno.
It was just nice for it just to be about us and not worrying about anyone else. It was a good day.
Really good day.
Really good day.
At the time, they were living in North Wales, and as news of their relationship spread, the couple claims even total strangers would single them out.
I couldn't go out without being called something or getting dirty looks or people talking about me.
They made me feel like I was some sort of animal because I'm going out with a younger girl than No, I'm going out with a younger girl because this girl has asked me to go out with her, which is a privilege to me and an honour to me to find someone that thinks that of me.
Andy and Beth felt they had no choice but to leave North Wales in search of peace and to be left alone.
Hey!
Hey!
Nikki is one of the few friends this couple has left.
Traffic was awful.
Was it? This is Nikki, Beth's auntie, adopted mother, good friend.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Some people were very nasty with him and with her as well. People damaged the property that they lived in, people damaged the vehicles that they had and wrote obscenities on them. They were mean to them in the street, they'd come out of the house and they'd shout abuse at them. It wasn't nice at all.
It's been 2 years since they moved here to Lancashire, hundreds of miles from the place they think of as home.
40 years I've lived in Wales, 40 years. My mum's been here, my grandma's been here, and I've got to move.
Andy doesn't want to stay away from North Wales forever and plans to go back, if only to visit.
I'm taking Beth back this weekend. We are anxious on who we may bump into or who may see us, what sort of reaction we'll get. Just see how it goes, really.
Having a relationship with someone much older or younger is rarely easy. But sometimes, no matter how big the age gap, friends and family are very relaxed about it.
I'm Kenny, I'm 65 years old.
I'm Michelle and I'm 30-year-old and there's a 35-year age gap between us.
That's where we normally go, love. You know? Where we normally go.
Yeah, I know.
Kenny was running a pub in the northeast and in walked Michelle, who was 18 at the time.
I want the right change as well. I thought I was going to get my change off my nose, like.
And Kenny turned up the charm.
At first I thought it was just in my mind. Why would he be flirting with me? He was 53, I was 18.
Look, you want to make a Costa coffee?
After calling last orders, Kenny would invite Michelle to stay for a nightcap, and then things became more serious.
I got pregnant quite quickly, but it was a shock to me and Kenny because I thought he couldn't have no more kids and he thought he couldn't have no more kids. So when I actually got pregnant, it was a real shock.
Soon I'm 53 years old and I've got a baby on the way, which I never thought in my lifetime would happen.
News spread quickly that Kenny had got teenage Michelle pregnant. The couple wanted to make a go of it, and once everyone got over the shock, they decided to support them, including Michelle's sister Sarah.
Yeah, it was quite awkward at first, because obviously, because of the age and that they were saying, like, he's old enough to be our granddad, and it's a bit embarrassing, you know, but I suppose he's an embarrassment anyway, isn't he?
You can't say that, don't get me, you know.
I better do.
An age gap couple will always face the prospect of the older one dying way before the other. But for 64-year-old Marion and 44-year-old Steve, the tables have turned. Steve has terminal cancer, but he has been thrown a lifeline and has undergone groundbreaking immunotherapy treatment.
Steve had been given just a year. We were told to prepare for that, and then receiving immunotherapy in January 16 was absolutely life-changing. Without that, Steve would have died.
Today, he's having a scan to check on the progress of the cancer. Throughout his treatment, being married to Nurse Marion has been a source of great support for Steve.
Because she has more life experience, if you like, than I do, then she's seen far more than I have. Her knowledge of this field particularly is really extensive, so the age gap in this scenario I think is very beneficial.
I'm going to move you all the way through. I'll come and meet you at the other end.
All right, no worries.
But even with care and successful treatment, Steve knows that one day he's likely to be given more bad news.
You are always aware that at some point in the not too distant future you're going to get a scan result which could totally change your life if the results are bad.
It's an agonising 2-week wait for Marion and Steve before they get the results of the scan.
The disease has been stable. The likelihood of it growing and increasing is big. So if we get a stable scan this time, we'll wait and see what happens next. If the scan is bad, that's game over.
It's nearing the height of the summer in Italy and a bank holiday where family and friends gather to celebrate. Lawrence and his fiancée Sam are using this as a chance to get to know their neighbours and are arranging a big party with the very best catering. But food is a big issue for Lawrence, who is constantly battling with his weight, which is a worry for ex-rugby player Sam.
I love Lawrence the way he is right now, but I want him to be here for as long as he can be and for us to enjoy life together, you know. There's always that anxiety of what would I do if I lost him, you know, because we've built up love for each other over these last 8 years, and for that to just kind of go because, you know, he's not looking after himself in from a health point of view would be obviously devastating.
Lawrence knows the Italian diet is weighing him down and wants to change.
Sometimes I look at Sam and his physique and I look at myself and I think, you know, I really do need to get myself into shape a little bit as well. So I've been on a bit of a diet. I've lost about 20 kilos in the last 3-4 months or so. And he's been trying to encourage me to get into the gym and move a little bit more because he obviously has a desire for me to live a lot longer.
But being with a partner who loves bigger men, plus being surrounded by so much good food, means there isn't much of an incentive to slim down.
I think 4 will be enough. Because I'm a big fella, and I live in Italy, and, you know, we obviously have a lot of pasta and stuff, and Sam obviously likes the more robust guy as well, so I'm kind of in a little bit of a no-win situation here, because if I leave too much weight, maybe he'll fall out of love with me.
It's morning, and 82-year-old Hattie is also obsessed with keeping in shape.
My medicine ball has been my closest companion for, about 35 years.
Hattie's strict fitness routine is focused on her desire for younger men.
It prepares my body for impact. It's good for sex also, because your body can take a lot of whatever.
39-year-old John, however, is not that into keeping fit.
John's life commitment doesn't have to do with fitness. Also, he's 39, so the issue of aging and anti-aging hasn't really come into the picture yet.
Hattie is on a romantic trip to Florida to see if John is the man for her. But it seems with him nearing 40 and clearly not into the same things she is, he may not be the young man of her dreams after all.
Being a dancer, I'm going to have physical responses to someone right away. That doesn't mean judgment, because if it were a question of judgment, I would not have been magnetized to this man. However, as I looked out that glass window...
Can we start over without you, like, pointing to my stomach when you say that?
Tensions between Hattie and John worsen, and although she's only been here for a couple of days, John is already finding her a bit too intense.
She's relentless with it, so if she wanted to come down to Tampa to see me, I mean, I thought about her on the drive home from New Jersey, and I thought, you know, come down to visit, but it's still kind of fresh.
This I don't like.
Okay.
No. This has me being, grabbing a guy because I need something from him. No, that's not how it happened.
Well, whatever you were relentless about, you were pretty relentless.
About?
Use your words then.
No, but what was I?
I wasn't going to interrupt you at all, and I was going to let you finish your statements and say them.
So,
and I was hoping for the same. And I had you put your hand up when I was talking and interrupt. Even though I didn't agree with a couple of things you said prior, I didn't interrupt and I just let it go. But I won't. I'm not. I'm just going to go.
Well, you see, we're very different. That's what we learned.
It's not going very well.
John's booked a table for Hattie's final night in town. It's their last chance to turn things around. The beautiful coast of North Wales. This used to be home to age-gap couple Andy and Beth, but not anymore. They felt hounded out by those who disapproved of their 28-year age-gap relationship. 3 years on, Beth's still nervous about getting out of the car.
Can't blame her. It's took a lot to bring her down here today. We have paid a high price in a relationship. Not to be able to be where you were brought up, where all your memories are with your family, it's very tough. Don't get any easier. I know, mate, we're getting out in a minute.
Beth and Andy would love to bring up their 2 boys here, but even now they feel too many in the area would disapprove.
If they're part there, no. Yes, we're in an age gap relationship. Get over yourselves. We've been together 3 years. We're married. We've got 2 children. Unfortunately, although we put a brave face on, it kills me inside all the time because it's like this is my home.
Even on a day like today, with so many holiday makers about, Beth is anxious about people watching and judging.
That's what they do. Just don't worry about them.
People don't really say much, they just stare a lot. It makes me uncomfortable. It's nice to be back, but I always get nervous in case I bump into someone. It's a bit awkward.
But Andy and Beth don't see anyone they know and head to the beach, away from the crowds, with their 2 young children.
There. Here. And we shall sit here. You know, I don't want to be treated any differently. We are Beth and Andy. And that's it, isn't it?
Definitely. I do want to be treated like a normal couple, but I just prefer just be left, just to get on with it. Because I do miss it, being able to take the kids to the beach and stuff.
Yeah, to move back here, that's the end goal, really. One day, in a not too distant future, it'd be good. It'd be great for the kids to grow up here.
Someone stuck a finger up.
To you?
No.
Being talked about seems to go with the territory of age gap love, and 65-year-old Kenny and 30-year-old Michelle are used to it.
Oh, that's nice. Your daughter taking you out for the day, or can your daughter get you change? And but as soon as we tell them, oh, we're husband and wife, the face changes and they go bright red.
Michelle and Kenny are thick-skinned and let the negative comments bounce off them.
Can I have fish and chips, please?
But at the start, it was not so easy.
When we first got together, that's one of the main things where we weren't going to get together. A lot of people didn't like it.
Said that it wouldn't last.
A lot of people said it wouldn't last.
No, but
what you're doing with him, he's old enough to be your father. Well, you were, but so what? What do you see in him? He's wrinkly and.
I'm wrinkly. How can you say I'm wrinkly? I'm not wrinkly.
Have you seen the line?
That's wrinkly. I think that's acceptable.
This is a worrying day for 44-year-old Steve and his 64-year-old wife Marion. They are in hospital for his scan results. In 2015, Steve was told he only had a year to live, as 3 years earlier, a tumour had been found embedded in his groin, which was impossible to remove. He underwent groundbreaking immunotherapy cancer treatment, which has so far stopped the cancer from spreading. But is it still working?
Right. You've had an up-to-date scan, and actually that scan is good.
Okay.
That node, that lymph node in the groin area and in the pelvis that we've been monitoring has continued to get a bit smaller.
Okay.
And it's got a bit smaller again. So actually, from our perspective,
we're all good.
We're seeing good things.
It's good news. The tumour has continued to shrink and the cancer hasn't spread.
That now means I don't have to go back to Adbrooks until next year, which is almost lovely.
So for the next 6 months, life will carry on.
I will keep going as long as I can. And ultimately, what else are you going to do other than lay down? You almost make light of it. It's become a, talking point in the gym. If they haven't seen me for a while, they go, bloody hell, I thought you'd be dead.
Yeah, shoes off in a minute, trousers up, in that little puddle over there.
Aye.
The prospect of dying way ahead of your partner is a fact of life 65-year-old Kenny seems okay with, but his 30-year-old wife, Michelle, is not prepared. Kenny's retired, so while their daughter is at school, the couple spend quality time together.
Hey, this water is warm, you know.
It is, isn't it?
Not bad at all. See if there's any crabs.
No.
But Kenny feels his time in this world is running out.
Just enjoying life as it comes now, because I haven't got that long left. I've got that long left now.
Oh, don't be saying stuff like that.
Well, so...
I hate it when he talks like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, I'm in my latter years.
Michelle doesn't want to face the reality of their 35-year age gap.
And so...
You'll only be in your 40s by the time that puppet.
Oh, shut up.
Well, it's part of life, isn't it?
I know it's part of life, but...
Well, then.
Anything could happen. I could go before you.
Well,
Anything
you could
happen.
Then I get another young one.
Daft clock.
In 10 years, Kenny will be 75 and Michelle will only be 40. He wants his young wife to know he's fine with her finding a new husband.
When I'm gone, she's got a life to live, you know what I mean? You can't just give up everything and just got some more and your partner's gone.
No, no, but...
Or you wouldn't get anywhere.
I know, but I can't see myself without you.
You know, she's just got to get on with life at the end of the day and enjoy yourself. Why not? It's only a young'un, 40-year-old, nothing is it? I'll be in my Zimmer frame by then.
While Kenny's convinced he could go at any moment, Michelle just wants to live life in the now.
I think about it a lot and I know it's going to happen, but at the minute I try not to think about that. It upsets me.
I'm still breathing, just.
Things haven't gone well for 82-year-old Hattie and 39-year-old John, who have one last night out before she heads home to New York.
So we're about to go to my friend Brian's place. That's actually the name of the restaurant. It's called Brian's Place. It's in Hernando Beach, a little bit north of us.
Their final date is a chance for Hattie to pull out all the stops.
Purple lipstick and to balance I put it on my eyebrows. I think it looks great.
After a romantic encounter back home in New York, Hattie came to Florida to see if John was the one for her. But the last few days have not gone well. Let's hope they can turn things around tonight. But despite best efforts, it's ended up being a case of mind the gap.
You talk about age gap. There's distance gap. There's size gap. There's
communication gap.
Communication gap.
There's definitely a communication gap.
There are plenty of gaps.
life for Steve and Marion remains in limbo.
Thrilled to be back. Living the dream.
Unable to plan for the future and anxious about what the next scan might show. All they can do is live in the moment.
We've really only got today. It's no different to anybody else. So just get on with it, make the most of it, and live it.
It's very hard to decide how to live the next 6 months. Do you go for a whole hedonistic lifestyle? So it's just trying to find the balance. I probably do more things with Marion than I would do if I wasn't ill. And that's, I think, really what the next 6 months is about, is just trying to create memories.
After the trip to their hometown in North Wales, Andy and Beth have returned to Lancashire. They hope the longer they stay together, the more people will simply accept them as a couple.
I think the best way to describe our marriage and our relationship, no difference from 3 years ago. There's no difference at all. We're best mates. I don't see B as my wife. I see her as my best mate.
See it as just a normal relationship, normal marriage. But yeah, you are my best friend.
Although it's sunny in Lancashire, over in Sicily, where today is a public holiday to celebrate the height of the summer, it's raining.
And I left the French windows open, so we've got a bit of water in here.
Soon, 20 neighbours will be arriving for a party.
Believe it or not, yesterday we were all suffering with the heat, and today we've got this rain. We have a very strong principle of the show must go on here.
Luckily, within half an hour, the clouds part and the floodwaters recede, so Lawrence and Sam start cooking.
So I'm going to get cracking on the pasta. Very simple, cold tuna pasta dish.
There's no doubt Sam is anxious, as this might be the first time some of their neighbours realise he and Lawrence are a couple.
Lawrence and I are in and around the town. It's not spoken about. They come into the house, they see us together, they might think, oh, father and son or something.
It's not long before neighbours start arriving with food.
So Tiziana is our neighbour, and she's made for us. It's like a shepherd's pie, but it has a Sicilian, Italian theme to it. This young lady here makes the best tiramisu in the world.
Despite this being a traditional Sicilian village, there's no sign Sam and Lawrence's age gap is an issue. And everyone is in full party mode.
I've known them maybe 4 or 5 years now. It's not an issue that really influences my view of him or of his partner Sam or of their relationship or of their person, because they are good company, they're nice people to be with.
Being accepted into their community is vital for Sam and Lawrence because they're engaged to be married and want the world to see their love for each other.
I think from everybody that's shown up to the party today, it seems to be a non-issue, which is pretty much what we aim for. I think coming out so publicly in the UK and around the world, coming to Jules and Mariah, it's kind of like having to find ourselves again in a place where nobody knew who we were.
Yeah, I think we both feel sort of certain levels of emotion about the acceptance of us in the community. So this is quite significant, the fact that everybody can come here and relax and enjoy themselves in our company. This is quite important to us, I'd say, wouldn't you?
It helps that we have a pool.
1, 2, 3.